Hey, Nan.
Hello, everybody. How wonderful, right? What a transformational experience you created here. Big
It's been
cocoon.
it's been a powerful day. So I'm excited for what you're going to share today. Do you want to just go ahead and take it away?
Yes, will you give me a reminder at about 10 minutes?
Yes, I'll come back
Okay.
on.
Okay. Thanks, sweetie. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being interested in all of the wonderful things that Neil does. And make sure you join us on the Greece cruise and everything else that's happening. This is the most momentous time we've ever been in. And there's so many ways to approach a topic like darkness and light. So I have been through many mystery schools in this life, priestess paths, shamanic trainings, lots of darkness, lots of cave. Oh my goodness, if you've ever been in a sweat lodge, that'll take you into the dark cave. And I even had a moment in Egypt the first time I went with the first mystery school that I was studying with was the Melchizedek method. And we had 222 people, and we had the whole of the Great Pyramid to ourselves. We fit, I don't know how many people into the King's Chamber. The rest of the people were in the Queen's Chamber and lining the stairs. So if you've ever been there, you have to climb up inside, kind of bent over up these stairs like you're climbing into a mountain. And then in order to get into the King's Chamber, you have to slide underneath. You have to lay down and slide under this wall that's, I don't even know how thick. And it's all made of these different kinds of stone chosen specifically for their qualities, their crystals. So you know that it's a power generator and a transformational thing and everything. But I'd never in my life had panic attacks. I was afraid of the dark as a kid, but it wasn't, something that persisted. And boy, it was amazing. I went there, of course, for 3.5 weeks to transform, and I did. And this was after 3 days of training at a new level of the mystery schools of Egypt. We went into the King's Chamber and we had people playing didgeridoos into the wall. We had my teacher had a microphone so that when he was chanting and then we were chanting and we were stacked. I mean, I think we probably got more people in there than was physically possible in terms of science. And our intention was to surrender to spirit and to ascend and to break free of patterns and all these very deep spiritual and esoteric intentions. And where there's light piped in because you're really inside of a lot of stone, really high up, right? There's air pumped in and not air like air conditioning, okay? Just air to breathe. And so what happens is that we are there for 4 hours. Okay. This is how to do spiritual work. This is literally why I do the sacred retreats I do. That retreat, blow your socks off. Talk about just blowing through. You got that fear. Let's go into that fear. Let's go into the darkness. So what did spirit do for me? Well, I wanted to do this really, really, really badly. I knew I had to be here. It happened during a Gulf War. I don't know which one. And my whole family was standing at the car on the way to the airport. Don't go, don't go, don't go. And I'm like, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. Spirit told me to go. It's going to be fine. It was epic. It was awesome. It was amazing. And I went as a spiritual trip. So you go into the dark because you can't find out who you are if you dance around with the butterflies all day, which was my desire for a long time. But now, as a trained priestess, as a trained shaman, traveling different dimensions, going places, seeing things, going into deeper wisdom with the Maya, all these different ancient, they're telling us, even the scripture is telling us that we have to become whole and that in order to enter what we would call like paradise or get back our power and our voice to create our reality the way that we know that we're meant to, we have to love. We have to be unconditional love. That means we can't judge. There can't be right and wrong. There can't be good and bad. There can't. Yet, wow, right? Look at the world. How can you not say, hey, that's just bad? And yet you can't. And the more attention and the more you talk about something being bad, excuse me, being bad, whether it's cancer, whether it's somebody driving in front of you, whether it's someone in politics did, I don't care what it is. The truth is, if we don't get control of the fact we're creators and we're the ones creating the dark, we are creating the war. The world of war is not going to go away with any more war. It's just not. You can't create peace from war. If you look at the scale, and I'll show it to you in a minute because we were just talking about it. Yay, guys, I love the scale. We use it all the time. They're not in the same state of consciousness. So we have to become conscious of our state of consciousness and conscious that we're conscious creators and conscious that our commands, that our words are spells, that we are creating curses, that we are creating commands, that we are creating reality, that we are the only thing inside of us that decides what that means and what appears. So I went there alone. I insisted to everyone in my life I was safe, I was good. I arrived, I was over the moon. I would have done anything. I would have faced any fear. I would have walked into a shark. I would have swam with alligators. You want me to do it? I'll do it. I remembered my Egyptian lives going through those initiations at Kamambo. Oh my goodness. Right? So what happens is that a couple hours, no, I don't know, an hour, I'm going to guess, an hour into it, my teacher says, he was channeling Melchizedek and he came through and he said, you're not letting go. You're holding on. What are you holding on to? I don't even remember, like just telling us off. And we're like, and we're living all this and the walls are disappearing and the portals are opening and like epic shit's happening, but you could feel it. It was like you're like a little kid trying to jump into the air and start to fly and jump into the air. It's like, why isn't it working? Can't get out. And so Melchizedek said, you know what? Enough is enough. You've come here, you've proven it. I'm going to come up with a propeller and cut it. And it was like an enormous fan propeller came up from below us through the pyramid in the Giza and just below us. And I'm not a cord cutter. I am an energy healer and you name it, I know how to do it. And don't do that, please. Don't chop off parts of yourself. We have better things to do. Love them. So up we came. And the second that happened, I remember feeling this intense release. It was just like, oh, yeah. Like somebody, and I had become light and I was floating and I could feel and sense all of us because we were chanting. We were all one. We were one vibration. We were with the walls. We were with the ancients, the wise ones. Time is all right now. So any other time or realm that any of us was vibrating with was there. Like maybe we were a priestess or a priest then. That's the kind of wisdom that we're going to these places, key codes to remember, bring to these places so that they can open a new thing and more energy can come. And as the frequencies in reality are raising and so on. And so boom, 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 boom. And what I didn't think about because I was so out of my body in another realm was what that meant. But the power of the light went out and I was sitting like this. And the light was up here in the corner. So it was right on my face, bright, bright light coming down. And the ceilings are pretty tall inside the King's Chamber. And so boom, boom. And I remember, oh, thank goodness. And just melting into the darkness, just feeling that bright light, bright light, bright light. And I wasn't thinking about the bright light. I wasn't thinking, boy, I wish the bright light would get turned off so I could meditate. None of that was happening. You know how that can happen before you become way more masterful of your senses and your focus. And it was this intense relief and release and surrender and ease. It was transcendence. And everything else happened from there. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show my slides and get something to drink. So my throat's like, whoop. When I'm doing spiritual work and stuff, I get these energies that fizz up, kind of like Alka-Seltzer, like, woo, and they usually go up the back of my nose. And right now they're staying in the back of my throat. Frequencies. So I had no idea I was going to share that story. So it was fun. But what happened was 3 hours later, when we finished and we started coming back into our bodies, we all realized that we were inside of this mountain of granite with no light. And people were lining the stairs, and the stairs are super steep, and you have to go down with your head bent over most of the time. And nobody came in. I had a flashlight and a little fan, but most people did not come in prepared like that, right? And we were crammed in there, and we realized we were just sweating. I'm pouring buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of sweat. So we came in, everybody started wrestling around, getting back into their bodies over something. And all of a sudden, this little Italian man jumped up way at the back. Now, I was the last person to get in. I was determined. There was no way I was going on this trip and not getting in the king's chamber on the first day. So I literally threw myself on the floor and slid under the wall. And the guard on the other side, the guy that was with our group, he said, no more people. And I said, just me. He goes, that was the last one. I said, no, I'm the last one. And I just slid into spot right like that. So I was right next to the door, right next to the opening. And I started to feel this panic. And then I stuck my hand and I could feel a little bit of breeze there. And this man stood up at the back and he said in his little Italian accent, help, I need to get out of here. So he started having a panic attack and you could feel the wave go through. Well, it hit me full force. I did not know what a panic attack was, but now I am an expert. Lasted for many, many years in different incarnations. Very interesting experience. And it didn't go away for a week until I was at the Temple of Isis doing our dawn activation, just our group on the island in the temple. And it was when I was fully reinitiated back as a priestess of Isis. And the whole way out there, I couldn't be in a room if the window wouldn't open. I almost died in the airplane because I couldn't open a window. It was like a whole thing of darkness. And if you've ever had panic attacks, that's darkness because you feel completely out of control. It doesn't matter how logical you are. You're like, there's nothing wrong. It doesn't matter, right? So that was a spiritual opportunity. That was a huge initiation. That was a vision quest. You go on a vision quest. You take plant medicine. You drain some of your blood. You do your breathing techniques. You do something extreme. You fast in order to put yourself into an easily altered state so that you don't see anymore from this level of consciousness. You don't see as the human, and you can separate yourself from your society and your culture and your gender and your religion and your schooling and what everybody said you had to do and be. Because now we have a world of people walking around wanting to be individual, but not knowing how because they were all taught to be the sheeple and the victim and so on. And in most of our cultures, we were not raised to know we were divine and human. And we were not raised to think that there's good and bad and that there really isn't good and bad, but we're supposed to pretend that they are good and bad because we're playing a game in the physical form. I don't know about you, but nobody told me that. My banker and nurse mother didn't know that. What a shock. When I started having memories of being an oracle and a priestess in ancient Greece, at 3, my parents thought it was cute and bought me costumes and books, nobody knew what to say to this. And yet the ancient Maya were so profoundly wise because they literally did your birth chart the day of or the day after you were born. And instantly you and your family were told who you were because they trusted that implicitly as the map that came with you to say who you were, what you were meant to do, and what the village and the family and the sacred guides, the wise women, the priests, the priestesses, and everyone were meant to do to support you. And you supported the community by becoming you. You supported the community because you were born that way. And they said, well, you were born with a purpose, and we're going to make dang sure you do it because you came to us. You came to our community. That means your gifts are going to be used in our community, and we're all here. We are one. They came and they were taught from day one they were divine and human. Could you imagine knowing that instead of going, oh, you're this sinful, horrible thing, and you can never redeem yourself. But one day when you die, maybe you'll get to, eat a tart. I don't know. You can finally eat your cake after you've had it, whatever other rules they made up, right? So we just have to go, okay, no problem. all this stuff we were taught, all the stuff we were conditioned, it doesn't matter who taught it, who said it, why they should they, shouldn't they? Let it go, let it go. Stop dragging it around. Stop creating more war. Stop creating more cruelty, more abuse, more blame, more shame. So I want to dive into some things that I wrote, but I really like to just go with the flow, which is what we're doing already. And I'm going to share a few things with you because I truly believe that we are all priestesses. And I don't mean that you have to be a girl or a girl body or feel like a girl or a woman or anything else. I'm talking about that rise of the sacred feminine, the balance of the dark and light, above, below, within, without, masculine, feminine, yin, yang, spiritual, material, all of that. It is the number one conversation right now. If we don't balance it, nothing's going to exist anymore. It's okay. The world has been fallen apart and put back together many times. But the earth is a living being. Everything within her has consciousness. We're not the only things here. And we have all of these opportunities. We have all of these resources. We're here with abundance at our fingertips. We are the creators. Everything is already done. If we would remember this and pull our heads out of all of the you can't, you shouldn't, the lack, stop. You just have to stop. There's so much conversation that we could have about who did what to who and why and where and when it started. And all that's going to do right now, after you get something that you need, if you go to the doctor, you got to tell him like what bit you, okay? Like the dog bit me, you know, or the snake bit me, so they can help their diagnosis. But beyond that, stop. Don't go, guess what happened to me? This person's bad. Guess what happened to me? This person's bad. Guess what's happened to me? This person's bad. Now you've just multiplied it and multiplied it and multiplied it, and you're going to be living in it and living in it and living in it. So what we want to do is say, dark isn't bad. It's what I do with the energy, the same energy. The first law, the first divine law, the first hermetic law, I think, excuse me, Geraldine mentioned it, is that everything is the same, but only different in frequency. So 0 and 100 on a thermostat, you don't go leave cold and go across town to find hot. You just keep changing the vibration. You just keep changing the temperature. You keep up the frequency. It gets higher and higher and higher and hotter and hotter and hotter. That's exactly the way everything is. You can't have light without dark. Every time you create light, you create dark. Oh, I'm a good person. I create only good stuff. I never did a bad thing in a past life. Ever felt that? Wow. Wrong. Okay. We've been the culprit and the villain and the prisoner and the cruel person and the manipulator and the gaslighter just as much as we've been the victim and the nice person and the nurse and the caretaker and the lover and the whatever. Okay. Get over it. Spirit doesn't care what your tally sheet is. Nobody else is counting. Your abundance, your prosperity, the world we want to live in, your love, your soulmate, your job of your dreams, the business you want, the animal you want, the house you want, what do you want? I don't care what you want. You can have it. It's already yours. It's already done. But you can't have it if you stand over here and say, oh, this bad thing happened to me. That means I can never have this. This bad thing happened to me. And if I trust and I step out and I do what I want, this will happen to me again. We're not getting burned at the stake anymore, but somebody might ridicule you. Get over it. You're here. You're in the eternal now. That means you survived how many different beheadings and disownings and ruined reputations and bad this and betrayals and love loss and failures and everything else. You've had it all. You've done it all. It's all there if you want to go play with it again. But guess what? I want to play something new. I want to play something new. So the new game is balance. The new game is acceptance. The new game is, you want to go into the higher realms? You're not going to get there by shame and blame and regret, victimhood. You're not going to get there by anything that says, I'm craving it. I'm disappointed by it. I need it. I'm enslaved by it. Once I get this, I'll have that. Once this disease goes away, then I'll be happy. Once I have all this money and I'll do anything I need for the money and I'm desperate, so it means all the rules don't apply to me suddenly because I'm in a place of darkness. When you wake up, I'm not saying anything I haven't been myself, okay? When you wake up to thinking you're the nice one, you're over there not speaking up, not asking for what you want, suffering all the time. That's the height of self-absorption. You must become the light because you must become the love, because the darkness is inside of you and you only see it outside of you because everything outside of you is a reflection, because you are the divine in a body and therefore you're the radiant light within you. So the light is already within you. You're never without the light. It's not possible to be without the light or you wouldn't be walking around in a body. So when you get just really logical with it, you can say, okay, I'm the light. I'm always with the light. So if the light is within me and the dark is within me and I'm looking at the mirror, now I get to go inside and say, how are these playing? Am I paying any attention to the dark? Usually not. Am I trying to avoid it? Have I locked it away? Is it the shadow work that I don't want to look at? So interesting thing, Neil mentions shadow work. Give me 1 second. And it sort of hit me because I don't hear that word. I haven't heard that word in a while. I remember like, woo, way back in the day, because I've been doing this about 40 years. So the idea of shadow work was like, oh my gosh, because it was, but darkness, the womb, right? The rich, fertile soil that you have to have and plant a seed in, it cannot sprout if you put it in the light. It has to have the dark, right? Roots, sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, if you've ever grown them, you have to put them in a cupboard. They need dark. There's so many ideas about the darkness, okay? Dark chocolate, if you like chocolate. Okay? The idea of dark is a richness. It's not lack, it's not bad, it's not loss, it's not condemnation, it's not suffering. So the number one thing you can do about anything, about a fear of death or fear of evil energies or entities, or fear of what the ETs are doing, or fear that the government's not telling you what, don't worry about it. Okay. You're the only one creating your reality. So go look for your own darkness, go into your own caves, be Luke Skywalker, go into the cave that you fear, that's Joseph Murphy right now. Go into the cave you fear. The myths and the archetypes are stories about you and me. They are telling us who we are. We are the hero. We're the heroine. The hero and the heroine don't go, come in, drink, party, water ski, make love at dawn, go do this, that, the other thing, become rich, sit around, enjoy their things, and then sail off into the sunset and never die. That's not the story of a hero. That's not the story of a heroine. What is the story? Up and down, up and down, up and down, equal amounts of dark and light, dark and light, dark and light, because that's the journey, because that's the point. And if you don't have duality and if you don't have polarity, then you don't have a floor and you fall through it. If you don't have duality, you cannot create in form. Don't want to play in form? No problem. Go somewhere else. But you came here to play in form. You came here and coveted that body you have. So now if we can separate the darkness from being something bad, we become whole, we become balanced. And the balance is where you start to create. What do we need with our Kundalini? We need the two snakes doing the caduceus, but they have to be masculine and feminine. Ida and Pingala, they have to be balanced because they're crossing in every single chakra, which is the activation of that Kundalini, which means your own life force. You illuminate from within. You now radiate luminosity, not just halos, not just sometimes when you're meditating, always. And that is a conscious radiation. Now you control what it is. That's when you see the reflection in the mirror around you that is power. So, okay, I keep clicking the wrong, there it is. I got it now. I keep clicking the wrong thing. I think it was this one. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll show you this one first. So I want to show you real quick. We have, I think, 4 spots left for September. And this is so perfect for this topic because I'm doing a retreat in England in Glastonbury, Stonehenge, private access. And we are going to these different goddess temples, stone temples, and we're going to be going inside of the dark ones, the long barrows, which were healing temples. And we're going to go with Maria Wheatley, who knows where the earth energies are. This is the spiral. This is where you cleanse. This is where you go. Stand here. A portal opens here. When you have a certain frequency, we have to literally go into one of it, like crawling like a womb into that darkness. And there was that time when I had my panic attacks that I couldn't have done that if you paid me money. And so facing that, this is not going to hurt anybody. It's not like spelunking. However, I love the idea, because what happens when you come out? It's a rebirth. So we're doing this on the full moon, on the high moon, and on the lunar eclipse. So this is going to be so powerful if you want to do shadow work, because Maria is the one who's discovered the long skull, the people of the British Isles, specifically the queens and the priestesses who built and lived and used the temples, the long barrows, of which there's quite a few. So we're going to go in as a pilgrimage. We're going to go first. There's 3 days with me doing goddess work, bringing the balanced heart chakra back onto line in lots of ways in Glastonbury. So that being the heart chakra, there is let me get to that in a second. So the second part, on the full moon, we're going to spend 3 days with Maria. We have private access tickets to Stonehenge in the morning. She's the one who wrote the book and wrote The Secret History and the documentary that's on Amazon again now. So she is the expert. She's been going there, living there practically. She knows what the stones were originally for. It was built as a goddess temple, where it is, how to enter it. So we're doing all of that on the path of the ancient wise woman, because this is awakening the megalithic mysteries that awaken the codes within us. And these are the things that we consider are in the darkness. If you meditate, if you do spiritual practice for a long time and you go, when am I going to hear my higher self? When am I going to know what my path is? When am I going to have the courage to do this? When is this going to happen? You do sacred retreats like this, like the Egypt ones I was telling you about. There's nothing else like it. You combine everything. Do a class, great. Do this and that, the other thing, great. You combine all these things together, go to that place, do an activation, do it with sound, do it with intention, do it in a sacred way. I'm a priestess. I'm a shaman. I'm a spiritual teacher. I've been asked by the universe to lead people because I'm a portal. I become a doorway of light. So you take the doorway and you open the darkness to the other side of it, which is the doorway of light. And so when you do things like this with a group that's all going, we're going here to walk concentric circles and activate the celestial goddess temple. This was an oracle. It was a center of ancient priestesses. And we're going to take that forgotten sanctuary and reawaken that within us. So I'm going to share with you in a minute, what is a priestess? What's an everyday priestess? And that's what I want to invite you to become. We're also going to do something that is pretty weird for me. We're going to go to a church. This is a church in Wells Cathedral. Now, it's known for its architecture. You can see how beautiful it is. It's very unusual, but we're going with a friend of Maria's who's a scholar who has studied this place, who's going to give us a private tour, and maybe we're going to get to do a meditation here, depending on what else is happening in the church, maybe after our generous donation. This is encoded with the goddess Venus and the pentagram of Venus. So he's going to show us all of the goddess energy, all the priestess energy, all the divine feminine sacred geometry, portals, codes that are encoded here. And then Maria can share with us how that is activating the earth energies that which temples like these cathedrals are also built on. And anything built on earth energies is accessing that divine feminine energy. So this is the one I told you about. We're going to be going inside of there. We're going to be going with the pink crystals. We're going to be going to the Dragon's Hill. We're going to be going with the Huffington Horse. We're going to be activating and awakening at Wayland Smithy our chakras with those things. So we're going into the darkness and coming out to the light. Into the darkness. This is what we do here in the Maya land too. Into the cenotes, into the caves, into the womb of the mother. You go into there to see your fears, to face your fears. You go in there to be held by the mother, to be held in the womb. You go in there to let go. You go in there to renew. Did you ever drive home to your mom's house in college because you partied too much and never slept, and then just crashed on her couch for the weekend and slept a lot and let her feed you and went back to college? I did that. It was amazing. She was 8 hours away and I still did that. So, now you can't see the barrow there. So this is a very, very powerful portal in the year of the snake at the high moon. So a lot of the things become, will I do another retreat? Yes. But will it have these energies? Will it be lined up like this? No. So we are going to be doing this in a way that is taking you from anything that you feel is a trauma you can't get over, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, prosperity based, confidence based. None of that can go with you into becoming whole. And so the path of pilgrimage is to go to find that part of you. It is like a shamanic soul retrieval. And these places, these stones, these wells, these waters, we go into the white springs, into the earth, into that dark place, freezing cold water, and you get rebirthed. The walls open to the fairy kingdom. I mean, this is true hero journey stuff, right? This is true mythological stuff because you're living it. You're here to be that. You leave your ordinary world. You meet your magical fairy goddess mother. You meet your shaman. You meet your wizard. You go and start to find the things you love. Then you lose the things you love. Then you fight your demons. Then you go into the underworld. Then you have to recover it. Then you die. Then you get up and fight again. Then you die. And you keep doing that. And maybe you've been doing that for 50 years now. I'm getting better. I'm doing this. And then your daughter dies. That happened to me. Oh my God. My whole business closed. Everything collapsed. Nobody paid me. I was in shock. And I went on a spiritual path. Like, what the hell is all this about? Then the next thing you know, my daughter dies. And then I'm like, well, that didn't work out, did it? So there's these ups and downs you go through that is supposed to be that way. Okay. And that's the snake. You have to absorb it. You go into the darkness and then you come out and you shed that, because a snake is perfectly formed underneath their skin with new rattles, which is another wisdom, another sign of wisdom, another crown chakra. So you don't ever come out of the darkness empty-handed. You choose if you come out beat up. You choose if you're going to drag back crap, but that's not why you go there. You go there to become balanced. You go there to accept it. You go there to become one with it. You go there to reclaim your power with it. You can't claim power over anything if it is against you, if you think it's an enemy, if it's dark, if you fear it. You can feel fear and do it anyway with the intention that you are the light and you're ready to see it. But the going there with the fear, giving your power to other stuff, that's what you have to stop. Now, what is really interesting, is this the one I know here, this one, is what's happening right now is we are seeing a huge, huge, huge polarity between light and dark, right? We're seeing this incredible polarity. And I used to go to a channel named Banu in New Mexico. Hi, Karen. And just decades and decades ago. And he talked about that. He said, you're just going to see, as you keep going, more and more separation of people going to the light or the dark, people being more and more obvious that they're acting cruel or acting from this darkness or this unconsciousness or shame, blame, and so on, and control, and people more and more going to the light. Well, we've been seeing it a while now, and it's not even reached its pinnacle. This is called a metamorphosis. You have to melt everything that exists. And we've had other magnetic pole shifts. Okay. So we want to remember that there's something we can do. And what we can do is not make more laws, not make more rules, not run around and tell everybody else what to do, not blame anybody else, not blame ourselves. We have to stop and become the wise one that we
10
can.
more minutes, Nan.
Thank you. So when we go, I'm going to be having a gathering. So I just want to make sure you come to nanakasha.com. Neil's going to be one of my speakers. It's called, it's about the raising of the everyday priestess. Okay. So you can get that at nanakasha.com. No worries. Join my YouTube channel. Come to that. We showed you that. Also, I'm doing something on the 11th that is a full workshop, but it's only $3. So if you go to my shop, you can check that out. We're going to talk about 3 divine laws. And this is about the alchemy of turning the darkness of your belief in poverty into that light of the gold light. You're not here to suffer. You're not here to be a master that's walking around in chains. It doesn't mean you need to have a lot of wealth. It means you have to know whatever you need is at your fingertips. Also, I want you to make sure that you get this as one of the things we give away in our shop. It is my version of the scale. And I want to point out that it was so interesting that Geraldine was saying, I was listening to her and she said something and she suddenly named almost everything in the state of acceptance. She said forgiveness, harmony, compassion. And I don't remember if she said transcendence, but the basic thing is the best thing you have, everything from pride down is a force state. It's what we would call darkness. It's hard to see. It's hard to think. It's hard to be positive. It's hard to get motivated. And you can see, if you just even look at the emotional body category, how you get into regret and anxiety and craving and hate. But the worst part is in guilt, is blame. And this is where most of the world is stuck. It's your fault. It's their fault. Blame them, kick them out of the country, go to war against them, stop them, make a rule against them, or blaming yourself. Oh, it's my fault. I'm a loser. I can't have this. Anything at all. So if you do that, you're creating more of it. I want you to get this, because once you reach courage, it's a power state. It means energy comes to you and is helping you. But once you get to acceptance, you don't have to work on forgiveness. It happens naturally. Now you free up your emotional field from all that heaviness, and you get to empower yourself with a deeper level of freedom without, oh, like this other burden you have to carry. I have to forgive. I'm a bad person. Fuck that shit. Okay. Sorry. Your mental body goes into harmony. So if you listen to Geraldine, she was talking about that. You have to have harmony to create a harmonious world. You have to intend harmony. You can't say, look at all this darkness. I want harmony. Why don't I have harmony? You're looking at the darkness. Okay. Look at where this is. If you're enslaved by craving something, you're way down here. If you're saying, oh, it's all harmonious, I'm letting my mind open, I just accept what is, I'm not condoning it, I'm not choosing it, I'm just accepting it, you're going to transcend. That means you're going to go above all these things with effortlessness. Your trauma is not going to pull you back anymore. Just accept, thank you, accept, thank you. And then the compassion comes all around you. So I want to dive into our closing meditation. I'm just going to pop through my slides real quick to see if there was anything I really wanted you to. I want you to understand like what I'm talking about. So if you come to the thing that we're doing in September, it's very important right now. I'm doing a lot more things on my YouTube channel as well, that we understand that a priestess is not a woman that goes and becomes a nun type person. It is any form of a commitment to a sacred path to embody a wisdom that embodies sacred feminine balance. That means we resurrect the sacred feminine to become balanced with the masculine, but we have to resurrect the masculine too, because it's all whacked out too. Nobody knows what it's supposed to be like. So once we resurrect the priestess, once we resurrect the sacred feminine, the priestess was the one who was the voice, the hands, and the body of the divine, of the goddess, of the great gods and energies and the consciousness in the earth and everything on earth in a body. That's what you are. The Maya say the Maya means the chosen one. And the Maya is a state of consciousness. So I want you to realize you chose to be here. And if you chose to be here, you're a master. And you have to wake up to your mastery. You cannot play this game of poor me anymore. You don't ignore that part. You don't bully that part. You don't hate that part. You don't disown that part. You love it. You say, I love you. I love you. Come here. I'm going to become whole again. Use acceptance as a process. I got a lot of that in my classes if you want to do an acceptance process. So spirit doesn't see good or bad. It doesn't say, oh, thank God you suffered a lot. Now we're going to give you good things. It's not going to do it. You keep thinking about war, you get war. You keep blaming yourself. You keep blaming your education. You keep seeing something as bad. But the minute you say, this has been gifted to me, it means I know what to do with it. It means that if I walk into it and through it, the door's going to open, the wisdom's going to come, the healing's going to happen, the guide's going to be there, the light's going to be there. It's where the goodies are. Okay. Go through it. All right. So there's a whole thing I'll share one day with you about the obsidian mirror, which is that the world is the mirror, right? We've heard this, but this is very literal to the Maya, the ancient Maya, that the world is the obsidian mirror. The obsidian is the most powerful stone for clearing, cleansing darkness. It'll pull it out of your body. It'll clear it out of your mind. It'll clear it out of, I never go anywhere without wearing it. It protects you. It lets you see through darkness, meaning people's fears. Jaguar medicine's the same way. You see in the dark, you see through fears, you see through malintent, you see through your own shadows. These are the kinds of medicine you take on. You don't go, oh no, poor me. What about my trauma? You say, what is the medicine? What is the energy? What is the divinity that is here in my reflection right now? Because it's a smoking mirror. It means that you could go into that world, but it's going to reflect to you what you feel, what you believe. So again, the darkness comes back at you that way. And then Xibalba is the underworld. And to the Maya, it is not hell. There is no such thing as hell. That's a Christian thing. We'll give that back to them. The demons are hot stones that are there to remind you to stop being in your ego, to get back. Everything in the sacred Maya path is about you're in a body, be careful of the ego. Oops, you just got caught by the ego. You got to get back into another initiation. You got to go through. That's what this is. You get to the top of this, then you have to go down and shed what you learned. You're not attached to it. Mine, mine, mine. Now I'm the king of the world. Now I lost being king of the world. Oh no. You go, oh, okay. You have to reclaim your voice. You can't reclaim your connection to the earth. You reclaim that darkness is the place that you plant your seeds and you birth from and you have a foundation from. So the last thing I want to just really share with you is that masculine and feminine are very different to the Maya. And the Maya see the masculine as the still. And so I want you to start to see that we are calling on embodying the light in the dark. That was our mission. The Oracle of Delphi said, know thyself. It didn't say, know your light and kill your dark. It didn't say, know your light and lock your dark up, cut your dark off. It didn't say that. It said, know yourself, know all of yourself. You're not balanced and you're not whole if you're walking around pretending you don't have any of that. Doesn't mean go act out evil things on people. It means go in and see what is the message, what's the medicine, what's the opportunity. All of you has to be balanced, has to be loved. Okay. So make a commitment to your divine mission. Okay. So let's, I'm going to actually just skip through this. I think I did share. So I also, some of the Oracle cards, the Prosperity Magic deck and the class are available now on the shop. They might be there. If they're not, let us know. I know that the class is there, but we're going to have them on Amazon any minute now. These are some of the ones that came to me to talk about, you could call on. I'm just going to share them now until we feel one coming through that would help you to see through the dark that you perceive, like this one that says, let's navigate the divine journey. You're in a labyrinth. You can't get lost in a labyrinth. There's no way to get lost. It's not a maze, right? That you can feel your path without seeing it. That when you learn to sense energies, trust the earth energies and the other things, you can follow the unseen. It doesn't matter if it's dark. Don't depend on your 3D senses. And the priestess of the mystic arts. Okay, she's the one that wants to walk with us now. Okay, good. So you can take a look at her. These are designed, they're called Sacred Feminine Mysteries, and they're entire worlds. So I teach in my class with the Oracle deck that you enter the world, you can look at it, it can start to speak with you. There's a whole book on everything that they've said, but there's many other ways. So please feel free to feel the vibration, to let your eyes or your heart or your skin move to anything here that may be jumping off the page. But then I want you to sort of come back around. You can read the words. Okay. So this is an ancient magician that lives within us, and the ancient powers are awakening. It's what we're talking about now. This has been shrouded in darkness. Mystery schools were all about hiding this from people who were misusing it. All energies can be used to harm and heal. So if you are being called back, we are being called back to study the mystical wisdom. Everyone in the ancient Maya communities were trained as priests and priestesses to a certain degree, even if they weren't meant to be one long term, because they were divine and human. They had to understand that they were divine and human. They had to talk with both realms. They had to have their intuitive pathways. They had to have equality, and they did. So you have to be able to call on your wise self, right? When you were a priestess, when you were a priest, when you were an architect, when you were an astronomer, when you were an alchemist, when you were, I don't know what, okay? So studying that mystical wisdom means that you're interested in what has been hidden in the dark, what has been had spells cast over it for amnesia. You're interested because you're at Portal to Ascension. You're interested in learning. Well, what does that really mean? You want to decode it. You want to find the cipher within you. You want to practice magic and alchemy. You want to remember your soul lineages. That's just the truth. So as you feel it, come back and just look at the focus on the flower of life. This is the spherical consciousness at the end of her wand. And just let your eyes soften now. And as everything is softening, breathe in, breathe down into your root. And then let it go out of your root in a shower of golden light that is now like a cloud underneath you, and you're sitting on it. And now just a focus there. You're going to see that one gold flower. It's glowing. Maybe it's standing out. Maybe there's other things starting to move, starting to pulse. This is a living and encoded world that is now interacting with you. It's touching your skin. It's coming into your bones. Now breathe in again. I draw in my wisdom, the priestess of my past, the mystical wisdom and powers that live within me. Hold that in your heart for a moment. And when you breathe it out, let it go down your arms. Feel it filling your hands, filling your fingers, going to your fingertips. Now your fingertips are starting to tingle. They're starting to glow. There is light starting to shine from them. You are the wand. You are the light. Now you relax, you relax. And one more time, as you're looking at this, you feel now a call. There's a voice very deep within you. It's your ancient mystic. It's your ancient powers. It's that call from your lineage. It's the thing that called you here. It's why you were called here. You're an expert. You're here. Everything you've heard today, everything you know in your mind now melts into your cells, and everything you know in your cells now melts into your blood. And your blood melts, and it begins to mix with your lineage, and it begins to go into the past and go into the future and go into the veins of the earth and go into the waters and into the sap of the trees and into the oils in the earth and out into the clouds and the rain. And it starts to go through the cycle. And you feel now that you are melting away the darkness that you perceived that was in your way. And you're starting to feel a sense of peace, lightness, happiness. You can close your eyes if you haven't. Surrender into that flow. Now that flower from that gold flower of life is entering your forehead. It's going deep between your left and right hemisphere. It's activating each of your glands, slowly lighting up your all-seeing eye, pineal, pituitary, thalamus, hypothalamus, round and round. You feel and sense this soft little firefly-like lights coming on. It keeps going around. And you say, yes, I'm ready to remember. I'm ready to gift this to the earth. I'm ready to give this from the altar of alchemy through time and space to all my other wisdom selves, to all my mentors, to all my brothers and sisters across the world in all times and all spaces. Let us rise together again and know that the dark and the light within us are the reason we're here. Every day there's a chance to take each, to mold them together into a unique new recipe, to plant new seeds in the dark, to clean and cleanse the dark, to sleep in the dark, to know the dark, to recognize the dark, to love the dark until it opens its secrets. It trusts us. And we begin to flow as one. We flow as the divine masculine. And we hold the stillness in the night, the strength in the bottom of the home. The family is safe. Within us, we feel our hearts now strong again. Not because we've built walls, no, but because we've embodied that divine masculine. And it has become the dark. And now, rising from within us, within this sacred space that is so vast, the strength and the wisdom and the knowledge, everything we've been gifted today, it pours down within us. It filters through the net. It comes to each of us in the perfect elixir of divinity, love, remembrance. I am the chosen one. I chose to be here. This is my dance. This is my time. Oh my goodness. The dark and the light are my materials, and I am the artist. They are my ink. I am the writer. This is my time. I get to do new things, but I must know what color is in here. You dive deeper and deeper. You sink deeper and deeper. You let the darkness engulf you. You surrender to it the way you go down a slide of light, and you trust it because it's strong, because it's safe, because that divine masculine says yes. The Father always says yes. And now you feel deep, deep, deep in the darkness. You are held. You sleep. You awake. You remember. Now. Oh, yes. Yes, I remember now. Thank you. You start to create the gratitude. It's flowing from your heart. It's going out in every direction. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that trauma. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that too. If that hadn't happened, this couldn't happen. And that one, oh, I see it now. Thank you. 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 I'm grateful for everything, no matter what it is, no matter why it is. This is the moment. Yes, I see it. I see it. I see it. I accept. And now the magic is here. It is in my hands. The luminosity is coming from within. Your hands are lighting up, starting to grow. It's moving through your veins, through your lymph, through your bones. It's filling your chakras and starting to radiate out through your auric field. More gold light, more violet light, more blue light, green, yellow, the rainbow, the full color spectrum is here. The grandmothers are weaving from the infinite field. You have the infinite at your fingertips. Now that you realize that even the white light is hiding a secret, and you are the code. Become the light, become the light, become the light, become the light. I am the light. There is no darkness within me. I am the light. I rise to the frequencies of my wisdom and truth. I am the light. Oh, there it is. Now, feel that stream. There is a direct beam of perfect divine white light. And you are a priestess, and you are standing in a white satin, shiny gown. And that beam of light is shining through the clouds over Stonehenge. The dark gray clouds are across the sky, and you're standing at the temple, the first goddess temple of Stonehenge. And all around you, taller than the temples, are the white chalk walls of the henge. No one can see the temple. It is hidden. And the white light reflects off your heart. And you suddenly realize, I am the crystalline light. When I accept that I am not bad, that there is no bad, I am forgiven, the Christ light is within me, I am pure, I am unconditional love, the light goes through me, refracts into the rainbow. And now, from your light, in your heart, shining from you 360 degrees, You feel the world now creating through you. You're a projector. You're an ancient priestess of Stonehenge. And that clear light from the heavens is moved through your heart like a prism. You are refracting it in your very own unique way. Around this white light that is reflecting these colors, creating a hologram of light, creating your reality. What is it? Is the deep, dark earth, the stones, and then the night comes, and the light leaves, and the rest, and you are enveloped in the dark, and you drift off, serene, held, loved, and balanced, to create a new world, a world where light and dark are revered, respected, owned, embodied, and magic is every thought, every word, every step. Breathe in slowly. Feel the body. Accept this body for exactly what it is. Accept this life for exactly what it is, full of gifts. And as you awaken here now, you are not the same person you came to this conference as. You've changed 7 or 8 times. You've gone through a journey, up and down, through wisdom and memories, emotion and cleansing, through the mind and the body, through the stars. All of this wisdom has taken you, and in just one day, you now are reborn. Today is Lamat in the sacred Mayan calendar, and in sacred time. This is a day of great abundance, great prosperity, great balance, the day of the seeds, the day of all the balance, the black, the white, the red, and the yellow, all the races, all the people, everything above and below, living in perfect harmony, grace, and it equals abundance and prosperity. Drink it in, breathe it out, exude it in your touch and your thoughts. And as you come into your body and into your day, enter and walk as the master of light, as the Maya master that you came here to be. I chose this time, and the darkness and the light support me equally. Now I am back in the right place with the right perspective, and the world is now at your fingertips. Create it wisely. Take a deep breath in 3 times. Bring your mind back in and let the new matrix, the new energies, the new beautiful elixirs to flow through. Transmute and transform the old beliefs, embed the new ones. Take another breath in. Come into the spirit, to the aura, to the emotional field, and do the same. Let all you know and you don't know that you've received today download into you. Fully integrate it. Receive it. Thank you. Thank you. You don't need to know what or even how. And one more deep breath. Now come fully into your body. Love this body. Feel it in all its imperfection and see it as perfect. It is the perfect you in the perfect time in the perfect place, and you've just received the perfect activation for the next step in your divine journey. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of the spirits. Thank you to Neil. Thank you to everyone who's contributed and created. And thank you for this beautiful time in the etheric temple between the worlds that we were able to enter. May it be open yet unbroken and available to all who wish to come here over and over to create peace, love, and harmony and balance. And so it is.
And so it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nan.
Thank you.
Perfect
Wow.
way.
I'm
Perfect
like,
way. So that was a powerful meditation.
yeah, thank you. I'm sorry if we went over. I don't control it. I do my best.
No, the spirits controlled it. But no, everything was in divine timing and it's a beautiful day. Thank you so much for everything, Nan. And then again, when is your Stonehenge trip coming up?
It's the 1st to the 8th of September.
Okay.
And so you can come to the first half or the second or all of it. But yeah, it's going to be very, very amazing. And you know how magical that area is. And I don't know
Mhm.
whether I got to it, but one of the things that's really relevant to the topic today is how Glastonbury to me is a blending of the masculine and feminine. It's the Mary and the Michael. You know, it's the
Yes.
ancient and the modern. It's the medieval and the Neolithic. You know, it's the Mary Magdalene Christians and the goddesses and Morgana. And
So
when you
much.
get to the Abbey, there's Arthur and Guinevere. And they're
Hmm.
buried at the heart chakra. That's literally like we're going to go through the chakras that are there in the ground and feel them
Yeah.
and do the heart activation. So you're in the heart, in the perfect balance of that masculine and feminine in both a physical form, but really more importantly in that divine feminine, divine masculine archetype. That is what we resonate with.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
sure.
a beautiful thing.
It's one of the best places in the world, to be quite honest. That whole area,
So
just so much
charming.
beauty and wisdom and history there and
Yeah.
charm. Yeah, exactly. So everybody, that's in a month from now. So if you want to join Nan, nanakasha.com, check it out there. Nan, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you
I love
for
you
closing this.
too.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Bye, everybody.
talk
Namaste.
soon. Bye.